By the end of 2019, we could potentially be seeing the collapse of supply drops. The United States Federal Trade Commission has agreed to open an investigation into loot boxes in video games. So, we're going to be discussing that in today's video. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. So, over the last few years in Call of Duty, we have become accustomed to supply drops. They started all the way back in Advanced Warfare, and we've had them up until Black Ops 4, and they released this new tier system, which, quite honestly, is worse than supply drops. So we'll get into that later on in the video. But why all of a sudden has the United States Federal Trade Commission just only decided to open up an investigation into loot boxes and into supply drops? Well, they think that apparently it's having an effect on children and gambling. And all of this is to protect children and gambling. Now, I can quite honestly see where they're coming from. Having a gambling addiction is the worst. It can get you into so much trouble because you want to spend all the money on whatever your gambling addiction is, whether it's slot machines or supply drops, which is potentially the case for children. And then you borrow money and you borrow more money, and then you end up with loads of borrowed money, spending it all on like supply drops or gambling, and then having no money to pay back. So this is why the Federal Trade Commission is doing the investigation into this. But the thing that they don't quite understand, the new system put in place in Black Ops 4 is actually worse than the old system with supply drops. Supply drops, yes, you could buy them and you can spend money on them, but there was also ways to unlock them naturally by leveling up and doing certain tasks. Now, with the tier system that they've got in place, you can do that as well. But it is just so much more expensive. For just guns and camos and shit, you're looking at $20 just for a camo. And this camo was already in the game, believe it or not. And they took it out and then sold it to you for $20. It is an entirely new concept that is just going to rip the shit out of your bank account. And honestly, I know Treyarch and Activision, they're a business and they want to make money. But do you want to make money by just completely conning your fans out of all of their money? That is not the way forward. I don't expect you to give us everything for free, and you gave us some free stuff. But selling a skin for 20 quid, what the fuck is that about? Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you like to hear why this all started and why the United States decided to launch an investigation and what game it was because of? Yes, you might think it was COD. Yes, you might think it was FIFA. But no. It was Star Wars Battlefront 2. What the flip? Apparently it caused widespread outrage over the pay-to-win aspect of the game. EA had to turn back on many of their microtransaction plans because of the outrage and lost a ton of revenue on the game throughout the calendar year. Belgium has already, in fact, launched their own investigation and found loot boxes are gambling and have required many video games to remove loot boxes from their titles. One of the titles that is affected is Blizzard's Overwatch. The commission in Belgium has not yet investigated an Activision title. Call of Duty has had supply drops in systems since Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, like I said earlier. I think we can all agree that was probably the biggest mistake they've ever made. I want to know what you guys think. The video is not quite done yet, but I would like to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you prefer, if you're a Call of Duty guy like me, do you prefer the new tier system they got in place? Or do you prefer the old supply drop system that they had in place? Let me know down in the comment section below which you prefer. But apparently loot boxes will represent 50 billion in the industry by the year 2022. That's not even far, that's 4 years away. And already we know that a percentage of Activision's revenue is generated through microtransactions. Last year alone, they made like 5 billion. 5 billion. So out of the 50, they've got 5 billion of it. The only other people to compete like that would obviously be EA because they got all the coins and then the FIFA points and all that stuff. And I think EA is just as horrible and as pay to win as anyone. You have to pay for packs, you have to pay for more coins, you have to pay for everything. And Call of Duty is following the same bandwagon. And when these FIFA YouTubers do all supply drops opening, how much do you reckon them fools spend a year on packs? Because when they're doing pack openings, they must spend so much money. And when they spend on FIFA coins and FIFA points or whatever you call them, the little green things, they're going to spend an insane amount of money. But it gets a lot of views. It doesn't even matter though. I think that this is going to be a good thing, but it's also going to be a bad thing because game developers are going to find alternative ways to take your lunch money. And these ways could be for better or they could be for worse. In Treyarch's case and Activision's case, with the new tier system, it is in fact so much worse than the old supply drops. That's just my personal opinion though. I'm not saying that everyone's going to have the same opinion as me and you have to have the same opinion as me. But if you have an opinion, let me know in the comment section below if you agree with me or not. Because then I get promoted and more people get to see the video and we can have a bigger discussion in the comment section below. But, whew, Jesus Christ, that was a mouthful. And watch that. That right there was a trip mine. The donniest thing. If you're looking for a blackout win, donniest thing, trip mines on the road for the truck. Anyway, that has been it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to let the gameplay run out. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you are new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Drop a like if you did enjoy and leave any comments down in the comment section below. I hope you're having a fantastic day. This is LUKEY and I'm signing out. Peace. There was one more guy and he ran over to the left. Ah! One more coming at me. Round here. Yeah, just stay down. Wait, there's another guy coming. Wait for this. Wait for the other one. Oh, he's behind me.
Last man standing.